Big A. A girl asked me to prom, and now I have to go, but I want to stay home and game. What should I do? Bro, you're in the right chat. How many of you, raise your hand, are at prom right now watching on your phone? Like, you're slow dancing, but you got your phone behind your date's head, and you're actually watching. The first girl I was thinking about asking to prom when I first moved to Arizona, you know, we were kind of flirted in class a little bit. Like, I liked her. And I was going to ask her at lunch. And then the day I was going to do it, like, I'm literally walking, like, over to her table to go ask her. A friend of mine pulls me aside, and he's like, bro, you got to help me out. And I'm like, what? And he's like, come here. And he drags me into the library, and he's got his backpack, and he slams it on the table, and he unzips it, and he's like, bro, I'm freaking out. And he pulls out this big paper mache heart with her name on it. And he's like, bro, I'm going to go ask Jenny. I'm going to go ask Jenny to prom. What should I say? I got this whole thing. I'm freaking out here. And I'm like, oh, wow. You put a lot of time into this. Woo! So first thing I did, you got to be a good friend. All right. End of the day, you got to be a good friend. So I said, look, calm down. Go to the bathroom. Take a few breaths. All right. And then while he was gone, I swiped the heart. And I asked her out, baby. Easy. Easy. I just remember I took like a big sigh. I was like, take a breath. New plan going forward. All right. This is new plan. What did I do instead? I asked someone else. We just, you know, we didn't really hit it off that well. Okay. I can tell you another prom story, but it's going to sound a little bit like flexing, but it's not. I don't know how else to describe it. If anything, it was embarrassing. You took Marilyn Monroe to prom. Yeah, that's it. I took Cleopatra. Okay, so we rented a limo for all of us, for like all the friend group to go to prom. I don't know, I shouldn't tell this story. This is ridiculous. So we got a limo, and the limo, you know, there's the middle part of the limo where everyone's sitting like in a row, side by side, like, across from each other. And again, this is a high school prom. We're not going wild here. And in the back of the limo was it like expanded into like a little private room almost, like a square. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe there's a picture. This is not what it looked like at all, but I can use this to describe it to you. All right, so like most people were sitting in these seats, but there was like a step up here into like a little more private area. And because the girl I was taking to prom and dating at the time had organized the limo, like everyone pitched in, but we were in this area. We were in like the VIP area of the thing. And this is really cringy. This is like such a really cringy story. I'm not a big believer in like public displays of affection. And again, we're not that far from all of our friends. And this is not like but we were like really, really making out, like, like getting into it. Not like nothing beyond that, but like making out. And I don't know why we thought that was appropriate to do right next to all of our friends. And again, I'm not that kind of person. But so we were doing that, okay? So prom is over and everyone wants to go home. We're in the back of this limo and we're making out. And everyone's kind of like, I mean, I didn't notice at the time. I didn't know people could even like really notice us because I was in my own zone. But they could, and it was awkward. And it's like a 30-minute limo ride, and we're making out a lot the whole time. Some people are kind of making fun of it, to be honest. And as we're getting close, and this I didn't really know. I didn't know till afterwards. My date went to the limo driver and told him to delay. She said, basically drive in circles. Like, just go around like 10 blocks. Just because we were all going home. You know, our parents were expecting us. But, like, everyone else wants to go home. Some people had a bad night at prom and are ready to get home. And they're looking out the window and they're suddenly noticing, wait, is this the same block? Like the fucking limo driver is literally just taking loops. And we're just making out the whole time. And eventually even I'm like, okay, we've been making out a long time here. And even for a high school boy, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go play video games. Like, what the fuck's going on? And then I find out, and by the way, people start to get mad. Like people sitting in the front, like in these rows, are like starting to get a little bit angry at what's going on. And they make a stink and they start talking about it. And then when they find out what's going on, it just causes a big rift. And eventually the fucking limo driver has to be ordered to go straight home. And I remember there was that thing recently in the news at the time where a bus driver had like kidnapped a bunch of kids and all the kids were like writing messages in the windows. Do you guys remember that? And so parents are freaking out. How long were you going in circles? Hours? No, but it was like it was probably another 45 minutes. It was a 45-minute drive with an extra 45 minutes of dicking around. Anyway, true story. People, and then the next day at school, or I think it was probably the weekend, so probably on Monday, I got a lot of shit. She got a lot of shit. I pleaded innocent, but, you know, people didn't believe me. Tell the spoon story? What's the spoon story? Spoon D's nuts? Well played.